already kicked out of a Tampa park for trying to work out during quarantine. So now the 42-year-old QB has taken to working out in his backyard. Remember, this is Jeter's backyard, and included the pads and helmet as well. So Shannon, like, love, or hate this, Tom Brady is getting after it in his backyard.
Isn't that left foot supposed to go over the hurdle first and not behind the hurdle, Jenny? I don't know. I haven't done it in such a long time, but maybe this is a new thing. Hold on. What would Tom Brady normally be doing, Skip, if this was a regular season, getting ready? Oh, it's May. He would be training. So he's doing what he would normally be doing. But, Jenny, you know Skip hates when athletes put their video up. Just work out. You don't have to show us what you're doing, LeBron. Why would you have to put this up? Skip, why is Tom Brady putting this up?
I agree. I am not going to be a hypocrite here. I don't love it. I don't love it. I can't stand it when LeBron's doing the ropes. Hashtag strive for greatness. You make $38 million a year. You should be striving for greatness every day. And with Tom Brady, I don't need to see him working out in the backyard in the Tampa heat. It's what you should be doing. I get it. So I'm with you. I don't want to see Tom post those videos. And conversely, I really don't want to see 35-year-old, 36-year-old LeBron James post. 35-year-old. I can't keep up. 17 years in the league. You should be doing that every day. Strong. You probably aren't doing it enough.
Still going strong. And still going strong. If you stay ready, you won't have to get ready. That's what old GOAT James do.
Yeah.
I might have to post a workout video later. You know,
not
you
so
never
much
know.
Of this.
Did not hide his feelings towards Isaiah Thomas in The Last Dance, saying, quote, "No matter how much I hate him, I respect his game." Isaiah said he was surprised by MJ's comments. He also said, quote, "I've never experienced that being around him. My son was wearing Michael Jordan jerseys and the Bulls jerseys that I bought for them." So Shannon, whose side are you on here? I was surprised by MJ and his honesty, and now Isaiah's response. What do you got?
Isaiah. I'm on Isaiah's side. Skip, when I was a little boy, and I don't know if my grandmother said this or she got it from somewhere, she said, there can never be freedom without forgiveness. And I think people look at freedom as being incarcerated, my inability to go somewhere, to do something, or freedom of speech, freedom of expression, or freedom of assembly. But no, your emotions, your feelings can be held hostage, can be in bondage, and you will never be free. Michael Jordan, you can never be free without forgiveness. Okay, Isaiah may have wronged you by not shaking your hands. Maybe he said what he said was out of pocket, what he said about Larry Bird. But the man does not deserve forgiveness? Michael Jordan, have you not asked, got on your knees at any point in time in your life and asked God to forgive you for what you've said or what you've done? Have you not done that? I believe he has, Skip Bayless. This is a hole on this man's resume. Up until that point, Isaiah Thomas had been an 11-time All-Star. Isaiah Thomas was Finals MVP. To say Michael said out of his own mouth, if he can fight through the hatred and say this is the second best point guard of all time, and he's not on the dream team, we've heard so many great sayings. You don't have to like all your teammates. You don't have to get along. But as long as we're playing for the same common goal, to win the title, to win the game, that's all I care about. For this, you couldn't set aside your pettiness or your beef or your gripe with Isaiah for the common goal, which is to win the Olympic gold? Nah, Mike gotta miss me. Enough of this, time out. This happened almost 30 years, what happened what? In 1991? So actually it happened in, June of 92. So the final was in June of 92. They started playing shortly thereafter. So Skip, we're looking coming up on 30 years, 28 years. And Michael's still holding on this for what? You cannot be free. Isaiah had this man's feelings, his emotions in bondage. He can't be free until he let it go. Forgiveness. Gotta have forgiveness, Skip Bayless.
Timeout. Maybe it's Isaiah who should ask for forgiveness. I'm on Michael's side here. I agree he's a lifelong grudge holder. When he competes against you and he feels like you wronged him on a basketball court, he'll never let that go. See his Hall of Fame speech, his induction speech, in which he lambasted everybody who's crossed him his whole life, especially Jerry Krause. And yet, I still am on Michael's side here, because as much as he hated Isaiah as a rival Detroit Piston, a bad boy Piston, I'm sorry, I think you've missed the facts here. I've tried to explain the facts to you, that they chose the original 10 first members of the Dream Team on September 21st of 1991. They picked John Stockton to be the backup point guard, pure point guard, to Magic Johnson. I didn't have any problem with that because I viewed Isaiah as more two-guard than point guard. I was there that day at the fabulous Forum, what was it, Game 6 of the finals in '88, when Isaiah went berserk in the third quarter and scored a then record 25 points in a finals game in a quarter. And after 14 of those points, he turned his ankle so badly, I didn't think he could go on. And he comes back in and scores 11 more in the third quarter. He was a phenomenal player, a phenomenal scorer of the basketball, a wizard with the basketball, but more two to me than one. So what happened when Stockton soon broke his leg after he was announced as the backup point guard? It healed quickly, but they announced right away, the alternate, the next backup to the backup point guard was not Isaiah. It was his teammate, Joe Dumars, who was more pure point than Isaiah was. So wait, Dumars is going to be on the Dream Team. And then finally, 6 months later, they announced the 11th man, and they went with another two-guard, Clyde Drexler, over Isaiah. They said it was Clyde over Isaiah as a two-guard, not as a point guard. And then to close this deal, the reason I don't hold Michael solely responsible for rejecting Isaiah and making sure he wasn't on the Dream Team is the quote from Magic's book with Larry Bird, When the Game Was Ours. And I've read it to you before, and I'll read it one more time. Magic Johnson said Isaiah killed his own chances when it came to the Olympics. Nobody on that team wanted to play with him. And Michael did say the other night on the documentary, would it have felt better to have him off the team? Yes, he said it felt better not having him on the team. And that was a team thing, not a Michael thing. So you're condemning Michael Jordan for something you should condemn the whole team for. Plus, I think the decision makers didn't want him as the backup point guard to Magic.
Whoa. I'm not going to let you off the hook, because when they asked Michael to play, Michael said, who else is on the team? That was none of your concern.
Yeah.
Do you want to play? Okay, he said, and Rod Thorne said, who you think isn't going to be on the team. Skip Bayless, stop playing with me now. You know, I thought, now I've heard athlete after athlete, we don't have to like everybody as long as we're playing for the common goal. Look at look what Richard Sherman said about Nick Bosa. There have been other guys that have said things, but hey, he's on our team. We're going for the common goal. We will set that aside. This was the one time that these great athletes were unwilling to set dislike or disagreement or bitterness aside for the common goal. This was the only time Isaiah Thomas, up until they made that selection, was better than John Stockton. That's fact.
No, it's not fact. Not as a pure point guard. They were trying to make a basketball team that fit together. And any of those players will tell you that beneath the smile, Isaiah Thomas was hard to get along with. So for team unity and fundamentally the way the team fit together, Stockton was a better fit overall than Isaiah would have been as the backup point guard.
So let me get this right. So Michael Jordan was easy to get along with. Magic Johnson was easy to get along with. Remember, they took Larry Bird as a symbol. Larry Bird played 2 minutes a game. Remember, Skip, Magic Johnson had retired in November. and they took him. So I'm confused. Am I the only one that's confused by this? You take Larry Bird, who played 3 minutes as a symbol. Magic Johnson hadn't played since November. Remember, Skip? You do remember what transpired in November when Magic Johnson made his announcement. Isaiah Thomas was one of the 11 best players in the NBA at the time of this selection, regardless of position. If you needed a center, put Isaiah at center. Isaiah Thomas was one of the 11 best players in the world at the time of this selection. That's fact.